Hello and welcome to Diurna Romanorum Extreme Emperor Edition, where we bring you the best and brightest emperors of Rome, tell their stories, and keep them honest. Now, please give a warm welcome to your host, Jared Julius.
Thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here today. Okay. Anyway, today we have a very special guest for you all. He was given his nickname, which means Little Boot, by soldiers he lived with as a child. He was born on August 31st. Let's have a wild round of applause for Emperor Gaius Caligula!
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you clapping for me, you insolent plebeians? Bow for me, now. You, kill her. No. Kill her family. No. Make her kill her family. Guards, take her away.
No!
That's the jail.
Well, Your Highness, I know enough about you to not keep you waiting, but in case our audience doesn't know, the usual punishment for delay during his reign is death. But first, let's go to Stuart Servilia, our rumor correspondent, who is roaming the streets, hoping to find rumors that you, Caligula, can help us disprove.
Thank you, Jared Julius. I'm here live on the streets of Rome, where I have just heard the craziest rumor. Caligula, is it true that you were responsible for the death of Tiberius?
Well, of course, he was an awful emperor. You guys wanted him dead, so I killed him. I had to poison him and then strangle him, but I did it for the people. And then as for his grandson, I caught him taking an antidote of a poison that he didn't have, so clearly if he had something to hide, he needed to be killed.
Ooh, fact check. Sorry, Caligula. Remember, we keep it honest in here, and Tiberius wasn't taking the antidote. It was cough syrup.
Oh yeah. What about my military conquests? We're going to talk about those, or you're just going to forget about them?
Fact check. Actually, you conquered one prince, and then claimed to have conquered all of Britannia, and your other conquests were mostly the same as that. Well, anyways, back to the streets of Rome. Have you found any other interesting tidbits?
Yes, indeed. It seems our dear Caligula has earned quite a bit of infamy here in Rome, Jared Julius. In fact, someone who just walked by was talking about how Caligula has threatened the gods.
Whoa now, Stuart Servilia. That's a pretty lofty accusation. Caligula, are you prepared to answer to this?
The gods have never assisted me. They did not spare my parents, so I rely on my own power. I am the gods.
Wow, well, after that colorful answer, it seems like maybe we should pull away from the streets for a little bit and see how many facts Stuart can come up with about our wonderful emperor here.
Of course.
You have a limited number of seconds. Go.
Well, Caligula was responsible for recalling all of the exiles and dismissing active criminal cases pending since the time of Tiberius. He published the imperial budget, he started the aqueducts, and he revised the electoral system.
Time's up. Good job, Stuart, but you could have done better.
Oh, really? Well, maybe you would like to try. What do you say, Jared? Were you willing to give it a shot?
I would, Stuart, but we need to move on to the next round. Caligula, tell us about your family.
Well, my dear mother Agrippa, bless her soul, she and my brother Nero were exiled under the cruel and terrible rule of Tiberius to the islands around Greece. So they passed away while I was still in Rome. But I gallantly returned their ashes through the thickest gales and storms of the Mediterranean just to have them buried in the imperial mausoleum. And my father, Germanicus, beloved by all in Rome. Known throughout the empire for his military conquests, ranging from Germany to Syria. He also died under the cruel and terrible rule of Tiberius, much to the dismay of the people. My sister, Drasilia, I loved her. I really loved her. I loved her. She died. I miss her very much. The tiny heart that I have left is pretty much crushed. My two other sisters, they're dead to me. They were useless. I exiled them because I thought they were going to try and kill me, which they probably would have. So I exiled them, and they're gone. I hope they're dead. And my horse, my awesome horse, Ignis. He is really cool. I built a marble palace that my guests stay at because it's better than my guest house, actually. I made him a praetor and an idol, which are two of the highest positions in Rome. And I almost made him a consul, but I decided he wasn't mature enough.
Caligula, I just heard, and I was wondering if you could confirm, did your infant daughter really try to claw the eyes of her playmates?
Of course she did. She's the daughter of a Caesar. She was just asserting her dominance over the lessers.
Wow, Jared, that baby has more courage than you.
Stuart, I am not competing with you to see who can name more facts about Caligula, no matter how much you try to bait me.
You're just afraid you can't do it.
No, I'm not.
You're a chicken. Come on, everyone. Who wants to see Jared come up with more facts about Caligula than me?
Yeah! Caligula.
Okay. But Stuart, you're going to regret it.
You wish. All right, Jared. You have a limited number of seconds. And go!
Okay, Caligula, he completed the Temple of Augustus and Pompey's Theater, which were projects that were neglected by Tiberius. He compensated persons whose houses were destroyed by fire, and he rebuilt the temples of Syracuse and Polycrates' place at Samos, and created the judicial system. Told you, Stuart.
You win this time.
Anyway, sorry for that distraction, sire. Let's go back to the streets of Rome. Stuart.
No.
Stuart!
No!
Stuart!
Fine! Alright, Caligula, I just talked to somebody who recalled that you used to pray for natural disasters.
Well, I mean, of course, think about it. Every great empire in history had some kind of disaster, drought, flood, famine. I just want some of that. I mean, it's been too nice. I hate it. It sucks.
Speaking of having a nice empire, I heard that you spent much, if not all, of Tiberius's fortune in less than a year on far-fetched extravagances.
The Caesars can't afford to be frugal.
Of course, Caligula, to pay for your future endeavors, you made people pay unreasonable prices at auctions, raised new and completely unprecedented taxes, and lied and cheated while gambling.
And isn't it true that you threatened to torture your wife to see how much she loved you?
Who doesn't torture their wife to prove your love?
You cut out a man's tongue right before his execution because he tried to say he was innocent.
You wouldn't shut up. He was being annoying.
You forced your father-in-law to slit his throat.
In-laws suck.
You carried a bride away from her own wedding.
Get off of me.
Die, Caligula!
I'm not dead yet. I'm not dead.
Stop! Stop! Speculation still surrounds the exact conditions of Caligula's death.
What little has been reported suggests that he was killed after watching some noble boys rehearsing their presentation of an on-stage performance. Some say Caligula is not actually dead, but merely faking his death to see what people thought of him.
However, these reporters know the truth. Caligula was brutally stabbed by a radical from a group that refers to themselves simply as the TAs.
Join us next week on Diurna Romanorum for an interview with Claudius.
Good evening and good night.